Hello everybody and welcome back to the FM24 Youth Academy Challenge with CD Toledo, and in this episode we're taking on Bournemouth in the Europa League and everything is going pretty well. Let's go and have a look. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Save and fellow managers. It is going very well indeed. Right at the top of the page you can see we are taking on Bournemouth in England at 5:45. I'm not too sure why kickoff is so early in the Europa League, but 5:45 is the kickoff time to take on Bournemouth in this game. And yeah, I mean, there's nowhere really place better to start than the cup competitions, because we find ourselves second in the league, 5 points behind Real Madrid, ahead of Atletico Madrid on goal difference, and ahead of Barcelona because we've beaten them as well, which is lovely. We're yet to play Atletico Madrid, but 13 games into the season and we are playing very well. 10 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. It's working. It's working. The new system of playing the pre-season, researching it, taking our time is paying dividends. In the Europa League, we find ourselves 5th in the sort of Super League system. 4 games played, 3 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, 12 goals scored, 10 points. Montpellier, Sevilla, Trabzonspor are the teams that have played 4-1-4, so they're at the top of the division. Bournemouth, though, struggling in this one. Where are they? They're down... Where are Bournemouth? Where are Bournemouth? There they are, 20th. Yeah, played 4, 1-2, lost 2, 6 points. So Bournemouth not doing very well in the Europa League. But weirdly, in the Premier League, they're actually doing pretty well. 4th place in the Premier League, Bournemouth. Games played 12, 24 points. I mean, if they win by like 7 goals, they could go second. So yeah, they're having a pretty decent season, to be honest, Bournemouth. They were first for quite a while as well, so it's not going to be an easy game, this one. It is going to be pretty tough. But looking at the schedule, you can see only 2 losses. La Liga to Granada, 1-0 loss. Pretty disappointing, this one. We actually played relatively well, just as the game loads the report. There we go. Yeah, we played relatively well. An early goal for Alexander Bados after 18 minutes got them the lead, but we had more shots on target, a very similar XG. They hit the woodwork twice, we didn't. They actually created 3 clear-cut chances and only scored 1 goal. But yeah, it was generally quite an even match. We just couldn't really put our chances away in front of goal, which was a little bit irritating, but we did play relatively well. And then the other loss so far this season is to Real Madrid, which I think is to be sort of expected. We're away at the Bernabeu and only had a 2-1 loss. Again, they scored an early goal, then a second goal. We scored in the 94th minute with a header from a corner from Kazushi. They were the better team, but we put up a bit of a fight. Yeah, given the fact that we've played better this season, and we're taking our time with it and everything. The fact we've beaten Barcelona, we've beaten Athletic Bilbao, we've lost narrowly to Real Madrid. We've only lost one other game, which is to Granada, which we probably could have won. Yeah, it's been pretty good, to be honest. We beat Sevilla 3-1. We've drawn with Sociedad, and the most disappointing result is actually drawing with Dun Streda 1-1. Andrew Neeson scoring an own goal in the 29th minute. Nunez getting us an equaliser in the 74th. I mean, let's have a look at this match report as well, because we absolutely battered them. 21 shots to 7, 5 on target to 2, an XG of basically 2, and we only scored 1. We hit the woodwork once. We had 2 clear-cut chances. We had 70% possession. So yeah, we absolutely dominated the game, but how we only came away 1-1 was a bit baffling to me. But we are taking on Bournemouth in this game. So into the data hub we go, and Bournemouth line up in a 5-2-1-2. Okay, so we know we've got a pressure. The wing backs have some inside forwards coming in to try and exploit the space in between the centre backs that we'll see along here. We could probably play our 4-2-1 system like this. Wing backs, forwards will probably play exactly like this, to be honest. Just bring in Akinde back in, because we had a little bit of rotation for the last game. But yeah, I think we'll line up exactly like that. So in possession, we'll start with the underlaps. We're going to try and put Bournemouth under a bit of pressure. In the transition, we're only counter-pressing, and out of possession, we do a little bit of a trigger press. High line of engagement and a higher defensive line seems to be working for us as well. In terms of opposition instructions then, we'll pressurise all of this back 4, and then the wing backs, just don't let them get on the ball, and if they do, go and tackle them hard, put them under pressure. We're not going to trigger press them, and we're going to see what they're doing with their strikers. But yeah, that is looking pretty good, isn't it? And why are you not? We want to do everything to you as well, sir. We want to get you in there as well. So that's how we're going to be lining up for this one. Quick look at the players. Ever Presence, Kazushi, Miguel Moreno and Joe Page. Goals-wise, it's Pedro Moreira leading the way with 10. Kazushi up there with 7. Miguel Moreno with 6. And assists, we've got Kike Andreas with 9. So still proving how sort of important the fullbacks are to this system. 5 for Vallejos, 5 for Moreno as well. So lots of good performance. You can see average rating, lots of people in the 7s. We are playing very well indeed. The only change I wanted to do was Tenner comes out. Phil Lewis is back from his slight knock, so he's going to come on into the pitch. And then it is Atli Berge that misses out because he's not quite ready for first team football. Oh, Joe Pozzo is back as well. Now, Vallejo has been playing very, very well, so I don't really want to just immediately take him out of the starting lineup. So let's take Mendoza out. We'll put Joe Pozzo in there. Maybe Mendoza in instead of Miguel Martinez. That's probably the right way to do it, actually. We'll do that. So Mendoza on the bench. That is how we're going to be lining up then. So let's go into this. No, we forgot to check one thing, didn't we? Data hub, next opponent. We don't know about Bournemouth set pieces. Okay, but they're going to use wing play, try and get the ball wide. So yeah, if we nullify those wing backs that they should be using, then we will be okay. That's how we're going to line up. Akinde and Supreme Dave in the middle there. We've got there's some tweaks we do in game as well, so you can see yeah we're doing all right. They've got Amari Rashid as their captain today, so point the finger, carry your last performance into this one. We'll do very well indeed. It's the Europa League, so the music blares out. They're lining up in a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-3-3, so that is a surprise. That is not what I was expecting. And if they're doing a 4-3-3, we need to match it, because the 4-2-3-1 doesn't perform brilliantly against the 4-3-3. With all the research and the knowledge and the experience that I've got of this game so far this season, this is how it goes. But yeah, here they come then, the players. Bournemouth at home on the south coast of England. Toledo from sunny Spain coming to the south coast. It should be an interesting game, this one. The Premier League team who sit in 4th in their league take on the team that sit in 2nd in La Liga. So this will be very, very interesting. But yeah, we'll have a quick look. Yeah, 4-3-3. Our scout was wrong. Okay, so we will press them. We will still pressure the fullbacks. But that does mean we have to just mix up here. 4-3-3. Desert Eagle is what we've called it. Ball winning midfielder, centre midfielder attack, and a deep line playmaker. So we'll just switch you two around to get Kazushi on the ball. Inside forwards, push in again. We're still going to go for the underlaps. I'm going to take them off at the moment. We need to see what Bournemouth do in their shape. We'll play out of defence. We'll counter press. We're going to try and keep the ball when we get it from the goalkeeper. A little bit of pressing as well. That's pretty standard for all of my systems. So yeah, right. Quick changes. Hopefully they don't score from kickoff. I have been playing it slightly quicker in 3D, so we'll slow that down for the game live on camera as Maldonado does swing it into the back post. Oh, they've hit the bar. They haven't scored, but they've hit the bar inside 20 seconds. So hopefully now, with the changes that we make, we will just counteract that sort of attack going forward. That's a bit of a scare, and it Taylor gets it. Oh, I've left Xavi and I didn't take out Andrew Neeson. Not a bad effort, but over the bar. Bournemouth starting the better of the teams, and we need to just get in here a little bit. We need to see what they're doing with their fullbacks. That's what we need to see, really. Andreas into Vallejos. Kike Andreas goes to Liam Hollick. Liam Hollick into Vallejos. Vallejos shoots. It's a good save, I think. No, it's a free kick. It was offside. But a little slightly bit better. Aha. They're playing inverted wing backs, a playmaker, and a wing back. So you're going to come in here and you're going to push on. So I think on that's their left. So on our right hand side with the wing back, we are going to underlap, but we're going to overlap for the inverted wing back. And ideally, we're then going to change Moreno to inverted winger on attack. Edit his instructions and say stay wider to try and take advantage of the inverted wing back that they've got playing. The wing back that they've got playing at right back. So yeah, is that right? No, inverted wing back playing at right back, which means inverted winger on our side, so he stays wider. Yeah, Phil Lewis has picked up a little bit of a knock as well. The only other thing I want to do then, we are tackling you hard, which is fine. We're tackling you hard as well, which isn't a problem. I think you were the playmaker, right? So we can take that off and stick it all on you, like so. And hopefully that stops bodybuilders. So they've got a holding midfielder who's going to hold shape. A central midfielder probably on attack or support. Advanced playmaker potentially moving up as well. I'm just thinking, I don't think we need a ball-winning midfielder in there. I think we're going to swap you two over and we're going to sort of match them up in terms of a defensive midfielder. But then we're going to change you to a deep line playmaker to try and get on the ball a little bit higher up. It is saying Phil Lewis is affected by his injury. So we'll just see what happens here. Let's demand a bit more from him. We haven't had a shot yet. We are restricting Bournemouth. And, you know, they're fourth in the Premier League, so it's not going to be a walkover at all. It's not going to be an easy game. But I do feel like we should have enough about us to actually create some chances. Now, neither team are creating anything good. And I'm sort of thinking, how can we counteract this? Because we are still on extended highlights and we're getting nothing of note as Hensky goes into Jack. He goes back to Emini. This is the inverted wing back here. Jack, that's well done, Javi. Good interception. We're trying to counter. Can't get it forward quickly enough though. Willits into Purnell. Purnell comes forward as the wing back down the left into Willits. Willits is held up. Ball in. Liam Hollick clears. Again, it's not ideal, is it? Let's try and just break a little bit quicker. They are throwing men forward. Jack over the ball into Emini. Out to Maldonado, who's also got... Both players over here have got an injury because that's Phil Lewis and he'll have a little bit of a knock. Ball in. Warm with a header. Good save, Joe Page. Yeah, they're playing it around us a little bit too easily at the moment. Taylor with the ball in. Hetz fix it on. Wars there. Is he offside? He's not. It's a goal. The ref's checking it, but I think he's onside. He looked like he was standing right next to a centre-back and onside. So Bournemouth have a goal awarded. It's 1-0 to the home team. That isn't ideal. And now they change to a complete wing-back when they get the goal. Okay. Okay. If that's your game, then we're going to play inside of you on both sides. We're going to go for the underlap. And we're going to go back to trying to control the ball. We'll move it forward quickly. But I do think we're in a position where we can sort of counteract them here. We may even chuck a few. We haven't even created anything. So I think we're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. I want a much better display in the second half. Phil Lewis has got a knee injury. So Germantina comes on there. No one at the back is doing too bad. I'm just wondering if we... Let's go roaming playmaker. Let's get you moving up the pitch as well. And let's get you also taking more risks and moving into the channels to give a bit of support higher up the pitch. So one change at half-time, more through necessity rather than through tactics. But Bournemouth have also made a change. As Andreas comes into Liam Hollick. Liam Hollick just holds the ball. Yeah, so we're looking to see what we can... Their rest defence, they're pretty much covered. We do have a bit of space with the roaming playmaker now. He should be a little bit more aggressive pushing up the pitch. And he's the man we want to get on the ball. And he is. I'm watching Kazushi. He's picking up a pocket of space. So he may get a little bit more joy in this second half. The only worry there is they just literally put that ball straight over Akinde. And that's not ideal either. Purnell looks down the line to Willits. They're playing quite wide. Joe Page with a save. Right, let's force them inside and we'll stop the crosses. So we're going to, yeah, that should work. And then we're also going to, when this loads, we're going to go and tackle their wingers very hard. We don't want their wingers to get any time on the ball. So Maldonado hard, Anson hard. They bought, who did they bring on? A left winger. Okay, we're already tackling him hard, so that's fine. Taylor's going to take the corner for Bournemouth. I was expecting this to be a tough game. The fact that we haven't created anything is a little bit of a concern. I think if it stays that way, we're going to push our lines up and just try and close the space for them to work in. They've changed it to Willits. The cheeky little gits. So, not you. Willits can now have the lot because he's now the advanced playmaker. So they have changed things around a little bit. So let's continue the game. Yeah, we're not getting our front three. We're not getting our front three into the game. So we need to build up the play more. So let's really slow down our tempo and keep the ball. Out of possession. No, sorry, in transition, we don't need anything to do with that. Let's... what can we do to keep the ball? Dribble less. We'll try and get some set pieces. They sometimes help us as well. And let's go a little bit wider. Just to try and... I mean, narrow makes it easier to keep the ball, but as you can see, we're not really... I'm going to give him a berate. Andreas Kike into Valeos, into Supreme Dave. Cross in. Moreno, come on! 1-1. I've just berated them as well. The ref's checking it. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. I did not see anything wrong with that at all. But no, it's been given. Yeah, 1-1. So Andreas into Valeos, back to Kike Andreas, into Supreme Dave. Supreme Dave swings it in. We did tell him to get into the channels and take more risks. And that is exactly what he has done in that position. So the changes seem to be making a difference. Now, they've gone back to an inverted wing back, but I'm not going to change too much. What we're going to do is we're going to put Moreno up front. Moreira's going to come off for John Parsons. And we're going to hope. Hope isn't a strategy, but we are going to hope that Parsons' height and a jumping reach will give us a little bit of joy. When the inverted wing back comes in, he can attack the back post and see how it goes. We have only had 2 shots in this game, so it's not been an incredibly good performance, but we are getting into it a bit more. 10 to go. We've got some poor performances in here. Kazushi not playing well, so Crimson Mori on. You two switch over. And Kike Andreas at right back. So let's bring on Andrew Neeson, and Xavi can go to right back. You two can switch over. And let's just see if those final subs make a difference in this 10 minutes. Over the top, Taylor flicks it onto nobody. Kike Andreas, Dave Supreme, let that go across his body and didn't really do anything with it. Emni into Rashid. Back to Hetzke. Hetzke into Burbage, looking over the top. Xavi with a good header. Liam Holick. Obviously, our changes haven't come on yet, as Pozzo, who has come on for Valeos, gives it away. Wins it back. It falls to Bonnie. Out to Jack, the inverted wing back. Here is Anson. Good tackle on him. Burbage picks it up. They're winning a lot of second balls. Parsons can't bring it down. Maldonado on the edge. Burbage with a wild shot over the bar. 10 minutes to go. And now our subs are on. Still a 1-1 draw, I think, against Bournemouth, which is probably one of the tougher games we'll play in the Europa League, isn't necessarily dreadful. Liam Holick swings it over to Joe. He goes out to Xavi, who's moved out to right back. Up it goes to Pozzo. Pozzo cuts back inside. Crimson Mori. Out to Xavi. Out to Neeson. Neeson just holds the ball and goes back to Liam Holick. We've got space on the left. Supreme Dave into Crimson Mori. Crimson Mori shoots from range. Not a great effort, if in all honesty. Let's go player instructions. Shoot less often for the last few minutes of this game after that wayward attempt. German Tainer into Liam Holick as we're in the final few seconds of injury time. Liam Holick just goes back to Neeson. Andrew, that is full time. 1-1. It's not a terrible result. We did improve our performance as the game went on, but yeah, ultimately it wasn't amazing. I'm going to say we weren't good enough. That fires them up. Looks like they're happy with that team talk. But yeah, we still say in the automatic spots, which is all we want, really. I'm not too fussed about finishing top of the automatic spots. I just want to get through into the Europa League and try and get to the latter stages. Phil Lewis out for 1 to 2 days. Next up, we're taking on Ponferradina, and we will do that game in this episode as well. So I'll see you there, and we'll talk through what we need to do. Okay, so taking on SD Ponferradina. And let's have a quick look at how they're doing. They're not doing brilliantly this season. A 4-4-2. So I've come up with another system that plays against the 4-4-2. We've got inverted wing back, full back, winger, pressing forward, deep line forward. Wow, that's not an attacking front two, really. A pressing forward and a deep line forward to see how it goes. They are bottom of the table, so I do think we can be sort of a little bit gung-ho. Now, did I save the system that I actually want to use? It's a 4-2-4. I don't think I did. But luckily, I know off the top of my head what it is that we do. So against the 4-4-2, we're basically just going to overload them. We'll have an advance forward, we'll have a target forward up there as well, and then we'll have a deep line playmaker and a ball winning midfielder on support. We'll keep with wing backs and wing backs. Ball playing defender, centre back is fine. And, just got to remember to start Andrew Neeson for this one. And then, because it's the 4-4-2, we just don't want to give them much space at all. So we'll try and get the ball forward quickly, take advantage of them sort of not being set in a shape. We'll counter them because it's easy for the 4-4-2 to be caught on the counter. We're not going to do anything with the goalkeeper. We could try and keep possession, but at the moment we're not going to try and do too much with it. And then we're going to squeeze the lines and we're going to put them under a lot of pressure. Don't let them play out from the back and step up because of those two strikers they've got, which aren't very attacking at all. So Akinde and Supreme Dave is fine, although we're going to start Kazushi in there and Supreme. No, we'll start Akinde. He's not done anything wrong, actually. And that means John Parsons gets the start as a target forward for his jumping reach and his height. Andreas Neeson, Holick and Phil Lewis is fine, although Phil Lewis is a little bit injured. So German Tina gets the start. And that is how we're going to line up for this one against a 4-4-2, where we're stronger than the team we're playing in a 4-4-2. That is how I want us to play. I want us to line up, take the game to them, try and create those chances. We could also look for underlaps depending on what they're doing with their fullbacks. If they're playing wing backs like that we think are quite advanced, we can underlap through them and just again cause havoc in the middle of the park, which is something I like to do. So let's get straight into this game. 2 games in this episode. So it'll be a bit of a longer episode, but yeah, you get to see a little bit more about what we're doing. The other thing we need to go and do, this is a match we should be winning. Make sure we go and do it. So we know we're in the 4-2-4. They're going to be in the 4-4-2 because our scouts they're in a 4-4-2. Our scouts in the league don't really normally get it wrong. So tactics, oppositions, the two centre backs and the goalkeeper, definitely put those under pressure whenever they get the ball. And we'll just wait and see what sort of 4-4-2 they're playing as Kazushi gets on the ball nice and early. Akinde goes up to Maria. Here is Akinde again. So the point of this is trying to keep the width and also have runners to pressure their sort of back four. It's basically I'm envisaging them playing a bank of four at the back that don't really push up. As Valeos heads that one down, it nearly found Parsons for an early chance. But you can see they're not really pushing much up straight away. So I think we're safe just leaving two at the back, having wing backs, Akinde and Supreme Dave next to him, sort of dictating it if we need to recycle possession. As Tainer into the box, there's a cross. Ooh, nearly an own goal, that one. The other thing we can do is play really high tempo with low crosses to try and get the ball into these positions. I may put work ball into the box because I've got a feeling this is going to be a game where we get a lot of opportunities, but we'll let it run through for like 10-15 minutes or so. But you can already see from the off we're getting a lot of the ball against this very, very defensive 4-4-2. And it's about trying to get, if we go through the middle, get these two on the ball in between the lines so they can pick passes like that. As Vallejo swings it across. Moreno's there. Couldn't quite get it on target. Really want those crosses to be aimed at Parsons, but Moreno is in behind. Kazushi holds it up, recycles the ball back to Liam Holick. Tena into Kazushi. Tena goes for the overlap. He does get the ball, but his defender's got back in the right position. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what's going on. Kazushi back to Liam Holick, keeping the ball well. Only 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes gone. Neeson picks out Akinde between the lines. Parsons holds it up, invites Andreas forward. Kike Andreas onto his left foot. He's hit the bar. So easy to create those sorts of chances. And that is just unlucky that Kike Andreas, who's got a couple of goals this season, attacking from right back, because he's left-footed. Even playing him as a wing-back, when he gets into advanced positions, he tries to get onto his left foot. As Hugo comes forward, that's a terrible effort. So Joe Page, again, it's just highlight after highlight, which means we're probably going to be on top quite a lot. As Andrew Neeson can bring the ball out from the back. So we could potentially play a bit of a higher tempo, but they're not coming out of their shape. So I think patience is the key at the moment. Moreno into Parsons. Good turn from the target forward. Out to Andreas. Kike Andreas. Maria blocked. It's going to be a corner, but Moreno had drifted offside. The other thing we can do, if Parsons as a target forward doesn't really work, we can put him out to the left as an inside forward and put Moreno up front for a bit more pace. As Alvarez comes forward. Good tackle on him. Liam Holick takes over. Akinde. Moreno is going to run down the left-hand side. He's got Tainer behind him. He uses him into Kazushi. Ball across. Moreno! Oh, it's a good save from Seacart. But again, it's a free kick because Moreno was offside. So just jumping the gun a little bit, Moreno. Parsons into Kazushi. Valeos, great turn. He's got a ball square. It's got to be a penalty. Moreno was fouled. He's gone down injured as well, which is a bit of a concern. But hopefully he's okay to carry on. It's being checked with VAR. It is a penalty. The pressure has just been mounting. We've been on top of this game for the whole thing. And it's a yellow card for Nazet Roldan. And it should be Moreno that steps up to take this one. It is Moreno against the goalkeeper and sends him the wrong way. 1-0 Toledo. It's been a very, very good positive start. 8th goal of the season for him. And we are cooking with this one. We don't need to see the replay of a penalty. Okay, Barry with a throw-in. Goes down the line. I haven't noticed them make any sort of role changes, but they do look like they're coming out of their shell a little bit. As Flores is in, it's 1-1. Just like that, they get equalised. Ponteferrana equalise and out of nothing. Literally out of nothing. They did put an inverted wing back on, but I think that's... well, I guess he is going to come in, but they're not really changing too much about it. I am going to try this. We're going to put Moreno up front as a complete forward on attack. So he's going to drop in, he's going to run in behind, and we're going to try and utilise Parsons' height as a inverted forward on that side. So Hugo's gone off injured for them. Parsons takes it short to Morea. Morea goes the long way around. Great ball through to Moreno. His shot is past the post. Again, we're creating the chances. I think we are going to work ball into the box and go low crosses. Try and get those really high XG chances. Sort of like Man City. Get to the byline, use the cutbacks. See what we can do as they put one over the top into Roldan. Oh, Kike Andreas giving away a penalty. And we're going to go from 1-0 up to 2-1 down. In the blink of an eye, basically. It's being checked by VAR. It's going to be given. It is given. We need a big save from Joe Page. It's a yellow card for Kike Andreas, who's had a good game up to that point. Mohamed Khan sends Joe Page the wrong way. 2-1 to Ponteferrana. Right, let's go attacking. I think we can take the game to these boys. Right, berate them. That was rubbish. Don't need to see another penalty. And I think what we're going to do is move it between their lines much, much quicker. Don't bother playing out of defence if we don't have to. Let's get this moving and see what we can do as Flores comes forward with it. Liam Hollick does well with a good challenge. Half an hour gone, 2-1 down at home to a team bottom of the table. It only ever happens live on camera. 2 shots for them, 2 on target. Oh, come on, boys. Tenya up to Moreno. Moreno goes back to Germain Tenya. Parsons picks it up. He's tackled by Barry. Just a long clearance up to no one, really. Tenya into Moreno. Into Vallejos. Through to Kike Andreas. Kike Andreas! There we go. He gets his goal. He gives away the penalty, but he got it on that left foot. And that is 2-2. 33 minutes gone. 4 goals scored. I guess this is what you get for a pretty boring draw playing against Bournemouth, right? We come out and have pretty much Man United, Erik ten Hag chaos. I thought he was going to square it. Look at the amount of bodies we've got in the box, but he just sticks it home. 2-2, and we're going to keep demanding more from them. I mean, we've dominated the game, really. Joe Page claims that cross very, very well. They may be starting to just push their forwards up a little bit more, but again, I'm not ultimately. Roll down. I was about to say I'm ultimately not too worried, but he's made it 3-2. This is very, very annoying. We're going to drop to positive. Let's not squeeze that line as much. Mohamed Khan won it. Burgos into Flores. Just a simple ball round the corner. Not good defending from Andrew Neeson, our captain. Really, that is not very good at all. We do have a highlight straight from the kickoff. Liam Hollick is going to play this one up. This is going to be a really long video, by the way. Andrew Neeson into Akinde. We might have to just switch this to key highlights only. But Vallejos does very well down the right. In it goes towards Parsons. It's sort of the move that we want to happen. But it didn't quite. Parsons didn't quite finish it as we wanted. And I'm sort of thinking that this change hasn't really worked. So we're going to go back to a target forward on attack and see if we can get that target forward involved. It gives an out ball, I think. Liam Hollick intercepted by Flores. Barry up to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Chan. Chan into Alvarez again. Just want to stop those balls just going in straight to the striker. Jordan out on the left-hand side. Up it goes to Sergio. Under a bit of pressure. Into Burgos. Back to Jordan. Out to Sergio again. There, well done, Akinde. Just came over and was like, I've had enough of this. I'm going to win the ball back very easily. Kazushi comes forward. Out to Parsons. Parsons over the top to Moreira's offside. Moreno's offside. It was so obvious. so obvious. If that's given, something's incredibly wrong with VAR. But I'm going to say that will be disallowed. And yes, it's disallowed. Quite obviously. Don't even need to see that one back. 3-2 down we're going to be at half-time to the team bottom of the table, which is very concerning. 3 shots on target, 3 goals they've had. Very, very irritating indeed. Point fingers. I'm angry. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Andrew Neeson, not having an amazing game, but we are going to ask him to mark Roldan. He's very good at marking, is Andrew Neeson. So that's what we're going to do to start this game. We're going to keep Parsons up front as the target forward for now. Andreas with a corner. Goes short to Moreno. Moreno gets it. Well, he's still going, Moreno. Oh, he shoots. Oh, it's deflected and easy for Sickart just to claim it out of the air. But a positive start. Let's... I don't want to... I'm tweaking and making changes a lot, but let's not let their wingers in on the game. As we had a shot there, but Roberto's on for Hugo. Are they playing with a playmaker? They are playing with a playmaker, and he's the one making things tick. Opposition, Burgos is the playmaker. You're going to be... Let's tackle you boys hard as well at fullback. And go from there. Right, Sickart into Chan. He goes long, but it's not a good ball. And Akinde won it. Andreas brings it down. Back to Joe Page. Out to Liam Hollett. You can see they're not pressing us. They're giving our defenders plenty of time to try and pick a pass, which is what we've done there. Moreno turns onto his left foot. Back to Kazushi. Into Parsons, who's fouled, but Moreno gets on the loose ball and makes it 3-3. His 11th goal of the season. So hopefully we can now have a bit of momentum. Moreno did really well to turn and lay it back to Kazushi. I think it was a foul on Parsons. It just sort of went through all the way to Moreno. 3-3. Okay, let's make those changes and see what we can do. We could sub off Akinde and Neeson. Neither playing very well. Parsons may come off as well. And I think we'll bring Pozzo on the right wing and put Vallejos up front as it goes in away. And Moreno back to Akinde. Out to Kike Andreas. He's in again. Left foot. What a goal from Kike Andreas. His second of the game from right back. But having a two-footed wing back is awesome. It's so good. But Kazushi into Moreno. Moreno into Akinde. Onto Andreas. He got it. Just took it past the defender onto that left foot of his. Bent it past the keeper. 4-3. It's been a very, very interesting game as Parsons picks up the ball now, running forward with his lengthy, gangly stride. Kazushi's there. He's fouled. He's not. Akinde shoots over the bar. But Akinde's now getting into the game. Parsons is now getting into the game. Everybody's sort of improving a little bit. So it seems to suggest we've made the right choices. Sickart punches that away. Tenner goes back to Morea. Out to Moreno on the left. He loses it to Barry. Sickart is there. He tries to go long, but look at that man under pressure as soon as the ball went forward. Flores brings it down. That's a terrible pass. Morea. Vallejos. Vallejos comes inside, goes all the way out to Tenner, flicks it back to Kazushi. Up it goes to Moreno. Tenner, lovely football this from Toledo. Moreno, Parsons! Oh my God, he's got a score. That is a terrible finish, and it is going to be his final involvement in the game, as he's going to come off to be replaced by Pozzo, and Vallejo up here will be a pressing forward on attack. We probably do need to make some subs. Akinde is pretty tired, so Miguel will come on for him in that role. We'll do Tania for Lewis, even though Lewis has got a little bit of a knock, he can come on. Moreno's tired as well, but for now we're going to have one more stoppage for 2 subs left, which is fine. 20 shots to 5, 6 on target to 3. We have been by far and away the better team in this game. We've just sort of wasted a few, been a bit wasteful with our shots, which is sometimes normal. Right, 2 subs left. We will do Neeson for Xavi, and then Liam Hollett plays as the ball player on that side. And Kike Andreas with his 2 goals, we may take him off, but we haven't really got change for him. No, we're going to do Kazushi off for Dave Supreme in the playmaker role. Fresh legs in the middle of the park is more important, I think, to make sure that we don't let these guys dictate the game. But as the time ticks down, it's been a 7-goal thriller in this one. Free kick is swung in by Pozzo. Emilio flicks on. Liam Hollett back into the danger zone. Supreme Dave is there. Fresh legs. It's going to be checked. I don't think it looked offside. It's not offside, I'm pretty sure. It's not. 5-3. It's a bit more comfortable now. Really well kept alive by Liam Hollick, heading it back across, and Supreme Dave is there to make it 5-3. And the tactical changes we make have made a difference. We'll give him some praise. Not enough time for the praise. 23 shots to 5, 7 on target to 3, an extra 3.6 to 1.4. Yeah, not a good day for Joe Page in goal. He might start coming under pressure from a youngster, to be honest. So we now win 5 games in the league in a row, which is absolutely lovely. It does show that taking your time does make a difference. And you can see 5 points off Real Madrid at the top of the table. And we are level on points with Barcelona with a game in hand. Atletico Madrid could win their game in hand and go same points with us on the same amount of games. So we'll see how that plays out as well. But all in all, it's going very well. Very, very well indeed. If we look at the schedule, we'll go through a little bit more again. Maybe Atletico Madrid at the Metropolitano is what we'll come back for next, because that will be a huge game at the beginning of January. So we'll see you then. Oh, well, middle of January. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying these videos, please do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get that number over there to 10,000 as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.